What is up, guys? Thank you very much again for joining in for today's episode. I think it's going to be a very good one. I've been wanting to actually review this video for quite some time right now, and it's one of those songs where I really have some good ideas in my head of how I can picture this MV to look at. I have not watched the video yet, so we're going to be doing that together. And like always, if you got any recommendations of any videos, MV related, K-pop related or not, put them in the comments below. I would love to hear your recommendations as well down below. But for now, I would say let's not waste any more time and let's jump right into the video with I-DLE and Senorita. So like always, before I start the video, I have not seen the MV yet. We're just going to go over it. And for the people who are new to the channel, just make sure that if I do pause, I pause because I want to analyze something. It's not to irritate anyone or the group or anything. It's really there to analyze what's happening in the video on certain techniques, how it was filmed, special effects, and small things like that. So don't be irritated about it, okay? Don't press the negative dislike button for that. But let's start anyway. Oh, I love the colors already. Really warm, very vibrant. The saturation is nice and high. And also, oh, I love the colors here. Again, some people were really questionable about it on my live stream. They say, what's the importance of lighting? But do you see this golden table, I would say, where the bell is on? Do you see what this purple light is doing here? It's just adding a little bit more of a charm to the entire scene, and I think it just looks great itself. The colors are very rich. Nice. Ding ding. Really nice. What does it actually say? Get lucky? What does it say on the ticket? Get lucky. $25. I don't know what the rest says, but I think it says ticket. Oh, we actually saw it there. I'm interested in what it says. Merchandise ticket. Is there a resemblance to why this ticket is called the merchandise ticket? Is it maybe a live show? What is it? Put it in the comments below if there's any meaning behind it. Oh, but I love the colors. I mean, just here, whoever did the color design of what she's wearing, the green really just pops on the screen without being too aggressive. It's a very, very nice look to it, and also adds a little bit more of a oomph to the entire shot. Very nice. Oh wow, wait, what? Have you guys seen that? The razor blade is in the lollipop. That is so cool. Like, I was really wondering, she was holding a razor blade, but I didn't understand the meaning of it. But now that I look at it, I'm like, wow, that's impressive. Really nice handmade prop for that. I wouldn't give you €5 to lick on that though. Nice practical effects, fireworks. Whoa. Really, really nice to see this actually. You do not see this in K-pop too much, where K-pop stars, idols are really close to these kind of explosions. I am a little bit curious though, like where the explosion is coming from. Okay, so you can kind of see, it's hard to really see it on spot because it's just 1 milliframe too far, but you can basically see that the explosion is coming out of this element that you see here, but on this side, really nice. This small little flash. Very simple to set up as well. If not mistaken, this white flash is by magnesium. It's a chemical, or it's not a chemical, it's actually a metal that when it's lit on fire, it creates this big white flash. Does it burn a lot? Yeah. Does it burn heavy on skin? Yeah. Is it dangerous? Yeah. Don't use too much of it unless you're with experts. Really nice. I mean, look at the smoke. It looks fantastic. Very nice colors in the scene here. The colors pop just enough for not only the members to show on screen, but everything just matches beautifully. And what I like as well is that there is this big light behind them that causes this great, beautiful shadow in front of them. You can see that every member has a shadow basically in front of them, which I think is fantastic. Just extends their choreography a little bit more. Ooh, I don't know if you guys could pick that up actually, but have a look at this scene in particular. In a lot of my videos, I always talk about color grading, and I think color grading is a very tough thing to do. It's a very tough thing you have to finalize in post. But you can see here that I don't know what happened, and I cannot explain it, but let me go through it again. Do you see the color difference between this shot in the blue, and focus on the blue, and this? Do you see that the blue here is much more aggressive? It's more like candy floss. It's very like this chemical blue, as I want to say, sky blue. While here it's a little bit more simple. It's a little bit more natural looking. But that's really shows how tough color grading is. You know, it has to do with the monitors. It has to do with the people color grading it. If you have multiple people color grading, a certain shot, you know, things like this can be picked up. If it was me, I would have asked them to tone it down a little bit in some way to more or less match. But these are small things you don't pick up unless you're really interested in. So it's still fine. Wow. I mean, yeah, I do a lot of research, you know, on how things are filmed and how things are done behind the sets. But I love the small little idea, the little blue teardrops. They really fit her jacket. Very nice little detail that's added. Great. Very nice simple shots as well. I mean, let's go up a little bit. This is CGI 100%ly. I've seen this more often actually, this particular shot in an elevator. I don't know what MV, but if you know, put it in the comments below if you know any more K-pop videos that use elevator shots. I know there's multiple out there, but what I love about the video work so far is that it's very simple to follow all the members. They're very simple shots. They extend beautifully with the music, and it just allows you to focus on the storyline without pausing too much or having to think like, huh? What happened? Huh? What? Who? It's really just nice to look at. So again, this is something, it's really hard to do unless you have a very high budget, but you know that she's basically in a CGI world, and she's most likely just sitting on a green screen box because she's in a green screen or blue screen, most likely green screen room. But what I want to say is that it's very hard to make sure that things fit greatly together. You can see that the elements, even though she's supposed to be tech sharp, she's a little bit unsharp for some reason, while all the elements in front of her and behind her are very sharp. That doesn't really work with lenses. You know, either I am sharp and the background is fuzzy, but everything in front of me is also going to be unsharp. It's either or. You cannot have sharp, sharp, unsharp, unsharp. It doesn't really work like that. So not really sure what they're doing here. It's not 100% accurate if it comes to camera work, but then again, you cannot film someone falling down from an elevator either. So it's a good compromise. One thing I do have to say, they did at least add the special effect to the hair, or special effect. They added wind to the hair to add the effect of she was falling, you know, hair going up. Fantastic. There are too many MVs that forget the elements, that wind does not exist, but they did include it here. That's super cool. Oh, beautiful colors. Oh, I love the lighting. You know, this is the importance of lighting generally, that it gives a bit of an emotion. I don't know what they're trying to portray here with her in particular, but it really makes her look a little bit sinister, a little bit evil, you know, because the light is coming from the bottom. It really gives this look as if you're above the light, you're above the person. Very nice. Whoa, what? I mean, there's two things that I want to point out here. I don't know if you picked it up, but I picked it up really quick. So I didn't know this was going to happen, but all of a sudden you see this thing of a crane, you know, flying behind her, and it's going behind her in this angle. Do you see that? It's going in this way. But then the next scene, you basically see it going like this very quick. It doesn't really make sense because if anything, there's supposed to be like a curvature of the thing swinging from one way to the other way. But that doesn't really happen. It really just goes bloop, bloop. That's not how it works in physics. What I do love, however, is that there is a lot of wind there, as if it really is something that is flying past her really quick. You know, it's like something, you guys know most likely, if something goes past you really quick, there's some sort of wind. There's a bit of an effect there. And it's there. I mean, look at the wind or the item. And I know this is CGI, but it's blowing away her clothes. Fantastic. It sells the effect so much better. Oh, really nice. And then again, unbelievable. Look at that. No wind, no wind, no wind. And then all of a sudden when this thing comes by, her hair moves a little bit. Great detail. Fantastic. Oh, I love the colors here. Very rich, very vibrant. I love the choreography as well. I've seen the choreography multiple times on these K-pop games, but I must say it's a very nice choreography. It's very, it has a lot of spice to it, if I can say it, you know, in the nice terms. Wow. I love this shot itself as well, or the location where they're shooting at. A lot of people sometimes still think that some locations are really expensive to set up, but no, not really. If I look at it closely, all I can see is like there's some backdrop of some crinkled paper in the background, and they're not even trying to hide the effect of these instruments hiding. You can literally see the strings holding up the instruments. I just love that they're real instruments. You can see it looks real. It's blending in really nicely with the environment. You can see reflections of her and the background. Really nice. I think this is a much better choice. I prefer this with strings than a CGI trumpet flying around. It doesn't really give a good feeling for me. This is fantastic. Oh, there's one thing that I miss at the moment though, and I already thought about this at the beginning when I was going to make this video. Every time I hear that Senorita, it has a very broken voice, but I always thought they're going to display like a character hiding in the corner and basically go Senorita, you know, to add some, give it a face, you know, give that voice a face, because that song makes this, well, that voice basically makes this song very strong. It's a very important factor. And at the moment it's still neglected. I still hope there's going to be a face in the future showing this. Oh, I love it. All the real effects that are happening at the moment. It's just great. I love that there's fire. I love there's fire here. It's great. And also the colors. Really warm temperatures and then a very cold color here. Beautiful match. Very easy to follow everything that's happening here as well. That's a little bit of, that goes against what I wanted to say actually, but let's go back a little bit. So far, all the members are always in the middle, easy to follow what's happening. Here, all of a sudden, she goes, again, middle, and then all of a sudden, she's in the bottom right. Where is this? All of a sudden, she's in the bottom right. I mean, it adds a little bit of a difference to this shot. I mean, if I look at, you know what? Let's just go over it one more time. Let's see if it's really that distracting as it is. It's a little bit like you're focusing in the middle, and then you all of a sudden you have to focus in the bottom right corner. It works to a certain point, but I would still say if you're filmmaking, don't do it as hard as this. Don't make people go from middle, and then they have to look into a corner for a second. It's not very good for the eyes in the sense of to follow the story. Like, see, this is so much nicer. This is really nice how it's filmed right now. Very simple to follow, nice, slow beauty shots, and everyone is getting their time. And I think this is something that's really nicely focused on in this video. Wait, what? The person who fell down, the member who let go of the crane, she fell down and then she's turned into a trumpet? What? Can you guys explain to me what actually happened here? To me, this doesn't make too much sense at all. And yeah, this Mercedes is completely broken, isn't it? I just want to see the effect because you can see the trumpet. Like, the car itself looks really real, and I wonder if they swapped that out with a CGI car afterwards. I'm really curious how they actually did this. But it's really nice still. Anyway, Mercedes is gone. I like Mercedeses. Beautiful colors. I mean, I don't know who did the color design here or who designed, you know, these rooms, but it looks really, really good. The different forms, the different shapes, the different symmetrical designs. Looks very clean. Very nice to look at. And it's not distracting, which is really good as well. Very nice. Very nice colors. Beautiful to look at. Is it the Mercedes again? Wait, what? The Mercedes is back. Like, he came back as a ghost, haunting them while being on fire. It's like the Ghost Rider mobile. Oh. And the car gets destroyed again. If anything, this car deserves a prize by himself. Not only does he get destroyed, he comes back on fire, and then he gets destroyed again. You know, in the storyline telling, it doesn't really make sense, but I still take it. This car doesn't know how to give up. Fantastic. There's the car again. Before I continue though, is there actually a proper choreography to the entire song? Because so far I really think this video is not showing too much choreography. There's a lot of beauty shots going on, but at the same time I think a little bit more choreography would have been nice here actually. And now the car is completely destroyed in a different way again. Like, the damage doesn't make sense. It seems like they used 3 cars, and every time they show it, it's destroyed differently. Like the trumpet, once it fell down, the hood before was completely bent. It shouldn't look like this. Like, this should be up. And then it crashed into the wall, but the front is still okay. Very weird what actually happened here. But then again, it's not my car. And it's also really weird to the storyline. Like, too much of the same Mercedes. At least they're trying it, you know. I cannot go mad about that. They're trying, at least. A lot of beauty shots. Very nice. And I think this is also the end, but this is a very nice end shot. I think as a group you should always do this because it just shows how tied up you are as a team, you know. I think this is good. Beauty shots are always important. Group shots are always important, especially for PR. So that was I-DLE with Senorita, and I'll be honest, I really enjoyed this song. The song itself is very interesting. Whether I understand it or not doesn't really matter, but I just love the flow of it. I love the sound. I love the Spanish touch to it, or the Hispanics touch to it. I think this is a very nice touch, and it's also something different. You don't have too much K-pop songs that use Spanish, and I know this is only a word, but at the same time, it's just adds a little bit more of a difference to the song. And they did a very good job by choosing a word and by basically spicing it up somehow. Once it comes to the set design, to the filming, to the editing, to the color grade, I must say they did a really good job in trying to make this video look as popped up as possible. It's just so beautiful to look at. The colors are rich, the colors are vibrant. Yeah, maybe for some people this could be a little bit oversaturated, but for me, I really like these kind of videos when there is a lot of details. There's a lot of different dimensions, a lot of different colors that I like to see here. And what's amazing is that there are some colors that pop really hard, but add a little bit of a difference to the entire scene. For example, a lot of orange, add a little bit of blue. It's a very nice contrasting color, but that's what I like, contrasts. It's beautiful to look at. Now, once it comes to the storytelling, I must say I feel a little bit confused, and there's only one reason why. We have this one car in it and it gets destroyed 2 times, but we see 3 times different damages on it, and it's a little bit contradicting to what's happening. If it was me, I would have really just focused on the car and say, okay, let's first let it crash somewhere, then maybe we can have something drop onto it, and then we can have a member sitting on top of the car that also shows a little bit of the damage that happened to the car. But at the moment, it just feels like they had all these different ideas of that should happen to the car, executed them, but just didn't think about, hey, should we maybe use different cars to maybe, you know, turn around things? Doesn't make it look as awkward. But no, they kept the same design. So yeah, that's something they could have worked on for the storytelling a little bit. The camera angles, the shot lengths are fantastic. The editing is very easy to follow. I love how they extended some of the shots, and they've really followed the music in a very harmonious way. It just allowed everything to slowly get, you know, display. It's not all about just tick, 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 tick. It's all about showing the songs, showing the spiciness, showing the heat, which they really did a good job on. Like I said at the beginning, I do wish, like I said nearly at the end of the review, I do think they should have showed a little bit more of the choreography because the colors look great and they also looked very good in the choreography. But then again, it's not a must. I feel happy going away watching this video, and that's the most important part of this video. It's supposed to keep people happy, you know. But now the question is, guys, what do you actually think of I-DLE and Senorita? Do you enjoy the music? Do you enjoy the video? I will be honest and say I love both of them, and I think they're great to look at and also good inspiration points for people to actually wanting to get into the filming industry. There's some shots that are very easy to imitate, and these are things that you can pick up as well. So watch this a few more times if you're interested in filmmaking. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. And if you did enjoy the video, please make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe to support the channel. And like always, make sure to check out all the links down below. My Patreon and my Discord links are down below. And of course, the community is growing, so I would love for you guys to join as well. I mean, why not? It's always fun to learn together, isn't it? But thank you very much, guys. And I hope to see you on the next video.